Hello, Philadelphians. My name is Rob, and today we're going to be talking about the 0.25 patch notes. But I just wanted to take a minute at the beginning here, and no jokes today or anything like that. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed since I started this channel. I wasn't expecting a lot of viewership, but I mean, we've shot like past 200 so quickly. 200 subs that I just, I gotta take a second and say, wow, guys, thank you so much. I just did this channel because I wanted there to be some tutorials out there that I wasn't finding as a player, and wanted some stuff to be helpful to other people. And it's I guess it's rewarding for me to hear people say, oh, I got this game because of you, or I hate you, Rob. You talk shit about PvP, get good. Things like that. It's great to hear. Anyway, let's get into those patch notes. And if you haven't subscribed already, I hope you will, and I hope you'll click on that sub button and give me that thumbs up for that like and all that good stuff. So let's roll the intro and get into this. All right, let's get into it. So this should be a short video overall. I am also working on a new tips and tricks video with more stuff that I've found that could be helpful to other players. And we'll get into that. That'll probably be my next video. So let's talk about the 0.25, 0.5 patch notes. Let's see. We need to get those up on the screen here. Boop. There we go. So what is 0.25, 0.5? I don't know what happened to 0.25.0, but apparently we jumped right into 0.25, 0.5. And as a disclaimer at the beginning here, there is a emergency patch that they're going to be deploying hopefully today or tomorrow, because they have found some issues that this patch has created. As far as when that's going to happen, it's going to be a 30-minute downtime, and we don't exactly know when. So what have we noticed that's broken so far? Well, apply talents to factories is not working right now. If you're trying to apply talents to construct, it doesn't right now apply to the factories, and that is problematic because people don't want to take their giant factories and pick every single item up and pull out all of the schematics and then put them back down for the fun things. So what did we get in this patch? Well, we got the large fundamental changes in how voxels are stored server-side. You can read right here, they've implemented a change in how voxels are stored. It optimizes and improving player bandwidth going forward. And they also introduced the level of detail for constructs in the distance. Ships and bases in the distance will now load and display at a lower resolution version of the mesh, and that definitely has improved frame rates. I can tell you personally that I have seen a good improvement on that, and what you'll get is you'll get kind of a lower mesh look, and you can kind of see this on some of these ships out here. You might not be able to read mark parking, but if you look at this little truck right here, right, it kind of looks all wonky, right, until I get closer and it loads the whole texture in, and then you can see that the truck says free candy. So that's an example of how that level of detail has helped overall. We're not giving the full detailed stuff from a mile away. Like before, if that truck was over there, I could probably still read free candy if I had a magnifying glass. But back to the notes. What else? We got some polish on the repair unit panel. We got some setting in the settings. If we look here and we go to graphics, we now have a thing right here that says FPS limitation. And you can unclick that to unlimit your FPS limitation, and that was due to some OpenGL issues or some other issues that were causing machines to run at a higher FPS than should be possible, which was actually causing a lower FPS. I don't know. It's technical things I don't know. Technical things. Otherwise, everything is still here. We still have the voxel quality and the highlight frontiers and all this stuff. And you can see I am still running low and low. I tried earlier to turn these at medium, and I tried to turn my volumetric clouds back on, but my game was like, "Argh." So it has gotten better, but not great enough for me to run at a higher resolution. However, I have noticed that the certain lag spikes and things when voxels are loading, especially around these towers, that stuff has been polished up. We got a message now that tells you when your game files are corrupted. They added some examples on how to use /emote if you didn't know that was a thing. Construction keys no longer has the delete item. I'll tell you, there are still ways to get rid of construction keys. Item inspector now displays the scaled item, data size, a decor received from network, stored and computed is now smaller, which will help server side and also streaming to you, so bandwidth issues. RDMS polish, small performance updates, optimized industry rendering for big factories. Yeah, there's some wonkiness. I don't know if you've seen the GIFs of the factories causing some funny visual issues. But yeah, for instance, I used to have issues looking at our factory sometimes when everything was running because it would just drop my frame rates, and now there's not that much of a problem anymore, which is good. Anything that makes the game run smoother, right? Added a warning notification when there's no price set on the dispenser. It still doesn't tell you that, hey, you only set 1 unit per batch. So you still gotta adjust all that stuff. Some other stuff here, some market improvements, some GUI improvements, some quick polish for surrogate panel. They fixed the issue with you getting stuck with the surrogate notification on. So now you can go into surrogate, into VR and come back and be just fine. And it appears that sneakily they fixed the issue with VR resetting your talents. Now, I don't know if this is just unintentional or whatever, but I did test. I went into VR, I came back from VR, and I was still able to move away from my container without losing my link. Which before, if you remember the video I did, if you moved if you went into VR and then you came back, then you moved 250 meters away from your container, even if you had level 5 container augmentation, you still would lose your link and you'd have to restart your game. So what else? We got the talent readjustments. There's some math here. You can do the math in your head. I don't know if this came out correctly. NQ has not said anything, but I have seen people say that it appears that their engines are now more powerful when they were supposed to be less powerful. So we'll see what happens when that. The big change is the organization and construct. No, that's not it. Organization construct management talents, which gives you the number of cores that you can place down right here. Organization construct management talents have a new maximum amount of 275 for a single organization. So if you had an organization that had placed 600 cores, you now have an issue, but NQ said they were going to message anybody who was above the 275 limit, but just keep that in mind. If you have an org, you can only go to 275 now. Under that org, I mean, obviously you can make 4 orgs if that's something you want to do and just keep going, but then you get an RDMS nightmare. They reached out directly to notify them, blah, blah, blah. Fix some crashes. There's some bug fixes in here. None of the exploits that I'm aware of have actually been addressed in here. So we didn't really get any exploit fixes. And otherwise, there's some art fixes and some other things. Oh, this is a huge one right here. This PvP fixed weapon shots, occasionally failing at higher talents. This is a big fix because what was happening is if you had a small core ship or an extra small core ship with fixed weapons, actually I think only extra small core ships can have fixed weapons. Let me know in the comments if that's true or not. But fixed weapons are not the turreted looking weapons that you sit in the gunner's chair and aim. They're fixed weapons on small on small ships or whatever. Anyway, they were failing shots at higher talent levels. So you could be in a small little fighter shooting at a large core ship and miss every shot, which makes no sense, because if you're like shooting a giant target, you should at least be able to hit it. It's like firing at the Death Star and being like, why am I not hitting the Death Star? It's the size of a planet. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. We still have our known issues, but y'all can take a look at that yourself. If they do come out with an update, I'll put an update to this video and tell you what they changed and what was fixed. Also, they temporarily deactivated voxel cache size limit, so make sure you clear your caches, because there is no size limit now, which means that your voxel cache can get overloaded. So if you were already having issues before with voxel loading, make sure you clear that every time you log in, because it piles up. Anyway, that is the video for today. If you liked this video, don't forget to give that thumbs up and the like. If you wonder what this thing is in the background that I was standing on at the beginning of the video, this is our new large cargo hauler / Doombringer. It's not a combat ship, don't worry. It's not made out of gold. So I'm sure now there's going to be a Russian logged off hiding in my ship after I showed this. But yeah, she's a big one. This is going to be our first large core ship. It's still kind of a work in progress, so look for it on DU Creators if you like how it looks. And I will try to bring it out to one of the Alioth spaceport shows. But yeah, this is what I got going on so far, and you know, Wall of Engines. So anyway, that's it for today. As always, I will see you out there in space. Stay safe, my friends.